Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayesha Vadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 60, text number 44. Right? Tasyaha Syuhu Achyuta Rupaha Bhavata Upadishtaha Strinam Gruheshu Khara Go Swa Vidala Vrutyaha Yat Karna Moolam Hari Karshana Na Upayayat Yusmat Katha Mruda Virincha Sabhashu Gita Tasya Surachyutan Rupa Bhavato Dishtaha Strinam Gruheshu Karagosva Vidala Bhrutyaha Yat Karnamulam Arikarshana Nopayaya Yusmat Katha Mrudavirincha Subhashu Gita Tasyaha Sur Achyuta Nrupa Bhavato Upadishtaha Strinam Gruheshu Karagosva Vidala Bhrutyaha Yat Karnamulam Arikarshana Nopayaya Yusmat Katha Mrudavirincha Subhashu Gita Tasyaha Sur Achyutan Rupa Bhavato Upadishta Strinam Gruheshu Karagosva Vidala Bhrutyaha Yat Karnamulam Arikarshana Nopayaya Yusmat Katha Mrudha Virincha Subhashu Gita. Please chant. Mataji's? Translation purport. O infallible Krishna, let each of the kings you named become the husband of a woman whose ears have never heard your glories, which are sung in the assemblies of Shiva and Brahma. After all, in the households of such women, these kings live like asses, oxen, dogs, cats, and slaves. Purport. According to Srila Siddha Swami, these fiery words of Queen Rukmini are response to Lord Krishna's opening statement found in the text number 10 of this chapter. The Supreme Lord had said, "My dear princess, you are sought after by many kings as powerful as the rulers of planets. They were all abundantly endowed with political influence, wealth, beauty, generosity, and physical strength." According to Sridhar Swami, Queen Rukmini here speaks with anger, pointing her index finger at the Lord. She compares the so called great princes to asses because they carry many material burdens, to oxen because they are always distressed while performing their occupation duties, to dogs because their wives disrespect them, to cats because they are selfish and cruel, and to slaves because they are servile in family affairs. Such kings may appear desirable to a foolish woman who has not heard or understood the glories of Sri Krishna. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur adds that such kings are like asses because their wives sometimes kick them, like dogs because they behave inimically towards outsiders in order to protect their homes, and like cats because they eat the remnants left by their wives. Very powerful, eh? Brahmananda Prabhu once saying this story that his father is a very rich man, and I know in India, my mother and my मेरा बड़े पापा बोलते हैं ना मेरा, he's a big IFS officer, and his wife, she would wait, and then after he would eat, she would not even clean the plate. In the same plate she would eat. So that was Pativrata Dharma. But in America, in India, it is like that. Nowadays, of course, nobody does. But in America, Prabhupada, so Brahmananda Prabhu was telling that my father, he was working very hard. And myself, my mother and we children, we would eat very nicely and sleep. And my father would come back, nothing was there, and then he would eat kurkure. That time also was there kurkure. So kurkure, then Prabhupada was laughing. He would eat kurkure and sleep. And then he was laughing so much, tears are coming from his eyes and fell from the chair, it seems. Prabhupada was so, he felt very, you know. Brahmananda Prabhu's father was so rich. This, I think, first some kind of very advanced kitchen system they had. And these advertisement company people, they have actually did this thing, you know, advertisement photo shoot in their kitchen. They were so rich, they had a private swimming pool and all that. So that was so Shastra's words are not false. You know? like that is why Prabhupada, Gargamuni Prabhu, he was when Prabhupada left for America, he was very strict about brahmachari and all before. When Prabhupada left America to come to India because he was ill, so somehow he got entranced by a girl. Then he got married. So when he went to San Francisco, Later on, Prabhupada actually, Prabhupada was, he went to ranch, where, huh? Morning Star Ranch. So there was all nude people were there, right? Nude people. Prabhupada was so transcendental. He went there, he preached to them. Then there is one nude guy. He was actually plowing land and putting potato, like that. And then Prabhupada asked, "What are you doing?" He said, "No, I'm, putting this, potato." "No, what are you doing with your life? What is this?" you know, like that. So he brought, somehow he gave lecture, kirtan and all. Two guys came with Prabhupada. Two guys came with Prabhupada. So this Gargamuni Prabhu married, he was living with his wife. So he was so busy, Prabhupada, Gargamuni was the only disciple where Prabhupada gave a concession. Okay, sometimes you don't have to chant 16 rounds. You just roll your beads. He was so busy, running that business, spiritual sky business, and then running the temple and all that. So, these two guys, they have kidnapped his wife because he's not giving time to his wife. So she went with them. So he thought they kidnapped her. So he went with a knife to kill those two guys. Okay? And then, he got preaching, and then he preached to them for 6 hours. 6 hours. Then he thought, okay, if they kidnapped my wife, no problem. Let them keep. Later on, Prabhupada was there, and then one Indian gentleman came. Then he was telling his problems of his family life to Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, because he has to run, so much busy, when he has 2 wives and something like that. So Prabhupada asked Gargamuni, "Are you married?" Actually, when Gargamuni Prabhu asked Prabhupada before that, "Can I marry Prabhupada? Can you provide enough money, enough jewelry, lot of children, then good house, then only you marry? Do you have all those things?" Gargamuni said, "No, I don't have." "Then don't marry." But still, he married. Anyway, so Prabhupada asked him, "Are you married?" Gargamuni Prabhu told him, "My wife ran away. My wife ran away." Then Prabhupada got up and embraced Gargamuni very tightly. "Krishna, you are very, very fortunate. Krishna has saved you." Otherwise, how, nowadays people, if the wife runs away or girlfriend is broken up, they cut their, hands and write love letters and all that. But they hit the bottle. But Prabhupada is saying, you're very lucky, your wife ran away. Be nice, like that. Anyway, so this is the truth of this material world. Right? So, Rukmini Devi, here she is saying that all the kings, all the kings, she's talking about the kings. Right? She's talking about the kings who behave like dogs and cats and oxen, monkeys, asses. Prabhupada said, life is every man is Asha Jivi. Prabhupada used to shed tears when he would see people travel from far off places to Kolkata for working. He would shed tears like that. Then he would shed tears. People traveling from Virar to Churchgate to Virar. Right? So once somebody asked me, Prabhuji, what is the benefit of coming to Krishna consciousness? Then I told, you don't have to travel in local trains. Local train. Once I called somebody, what are you doing? Around 11:30, I called one of you. He said, I am taking massage. I said, what? This time massage? No work? Then no, Prabhuji, I'm going in the train. I'm getting free massage. you know. So that is the situation. So Prabhupada told a story. Prabhupada said, why these people travel from Churchgate to Virar, Virar to Churchgate? Because they can't give up association with a woman for a few minutes. Then after working hard, they go to their wives, and then wife kicks. Because she will say, bring Kalaniketan sari. Otherwise, don't come. Then she kicks him. Like she ass kicks the he ass. Then she goes to engage with her. Then the he has, he sings philosophy. Once, Socrates, his wife was very rude, very rude. So he's a philosopher. He's a philosopher. So he's always would sit with his friends and discuss philosophy. Then she is very upset. So she came and they started, abusing him all the time. You sit here and discuss philosophy, where you will get food, this and that. Then still he was discussing. Then after some time, she went up to the first floor and then she put water. Then he very calmly commented, before it was thundering, now it was showering. Then Socrates said, better you get married. If wife is nice, your life will be nice. Otherwise, you can become a philosopher. Right? Anyway, so Prabhupada told this story. So there is one donkey. Right? There was this donkey. This donkey is in village. So this village donkey, once he went to little town, the donkey realized that, this Dobi is cheating us because whatever grass he is giving, it is available on the bank of a river. Bank of a river. So they said, I am not going to work anymore. I'm not going to carry burden of, all these clothes. So many clothes, they make them carry this donkey. Right? So he said, then he met his friend who is still working for Dobi. He said, Hare, my dear friend, see, I will tell you one very interesting fact. He said, what? He said, now actually we don't have to work hard because whatever grass this Dobi is giving, it is available on the bank of river, very free of cost. So we don't have to carry. So better you stop working. And he said, Hare, Buddhu, there is a reason why I am working. He said, what? This Dobi has got a daughter. Right? Daughter. So he was chastising because she was not listening to him. He was chastising her. Sudhar jao. Better you become all right. Otherwise, I will get you married to this donkey. I am waiting. All donkeys, they are actually waiting to become happy. So once one person, he was praying to God, oh God, I don't get sleep. I can't eat properly. I can't sit properly. Did I get love of God? Said, no, you fool. You are a software engineer. Right? Software engineer. So they can't sleep, they can't work, they can't sit because all the time, they're working hard like donkeys, right? So Prabhupada said, hard. So these people, there are some people, workaholics, you know. Who is a workaholic? Future donkey, right? Working hard like that. So, uh, Rukmini Devi was saying that this is approved by Krishna. When Muchukunda Maharaj, he was praying to the Lord. When Muchukunda Maharaj, Lord Krishna appeared in the cave where Muchukunda was sleeping. Lord Maharaj Muchukunda was sleeping, and then Muchukunda had a beautiful darshan of the Lord. He was amazed. Who is this personality of Godhead? Then he said, "My dear Lord, how did you walk with your soft lotus feet on this thorny path of forest? How did you come?" So that is the recognition. How do we recognize Krishna, right? How many lotuses are there in Krishna? Anybody knows? Huh? That is Chandramas. Lotus eyes, 2. Lotus hands, 2. Lotus feet, 2. And then lotus navel, 7. And then lotus face. Right? How many? 8. So whenever any devotee would see the residents of Vrindavan, they would see Krishna. Hare, there is a effulgence. There is a radiance of lotuses. We see lotuses everywhere in Krishna, right? Pitva mukunda muksara gamakshi brungai tapam jahur virhajam rajayoshitoni tat sat kritum samadigam vivesha gostum Suvridhasa vinayam yadapangamoksham. This is a verse from 15th chapter, 10th canto. So gopis, when they see Krishna coming back, so Rupa Goswami compares the eyes of the gopis to bumblebees. And whenever they would see Krishna's lotus face or lotus eyes, each and every part, the lotus emanates nectar. And this bumblebee, they go to the lotus and drink the nectar. But this comparison is given that the gopis' eyes are like bumblebees. Wherever they go, bumblebees go, and so much thick nectar that was emanating, Madhu is emanating from Krishna's lotus parts. So they would get stuck in the flood of nectar. And they cannot remove. So that means Rupa Goswami is saying, suppose if they looked at Krishna's lotus face, so their eyes are stuck in Krishna's lotus face, they were unable to recover, retrieve those eyes from seeing the lotus face. After that, when they would see lotus feet, like that, very nice description is there in Bhakti-rasam Sindhu. So as soon as Maharaj Muchukunda saw Krishna, Hare, your soft lotus feet. The gopis also are worried about Krishna's lotus feet getting hurt all the time. So this is called prema, like that. So then Maharaj Muchukunda started praying to the Lord that, my dear Lord, I am such a fool. I used to think myself such a big, because of illusion, I used to think myself a very big king. Then I used to go and conquer people, conquer kingdoms, then declare myself Chakravarti. But then people would give me so much respect when I would, procession would take place, then I would sit on the elephant and the people would shower flowers and all. My dear Krishna, a person like me who conquered the world, who used to help demigods fight their battles, and then people used to respect me. But when I go to my palace and go to the bedroom, I am like a pet animal in the hands of my wife. Just like a Madari makes the monkey dance, my wife used to make me dance for pleasure. Krishna was listening. He approved. This is the situation. Any grasta here? You are grasta? Is it like that? So then you are a devotee. So this is the situation. People, the wives, Prabhupada said, if only Cleopatra's nose was not so beautiful, this world war would not have taken place. Because Cleopatra's nose was very beautiful, it seems. That's why all this Julius Caesar and all, he became cheated by her beautiful nose. Like that. So Julius Caesar was a very great king and he was conquering the world. But Cleopatra's nose has conquered him. And then he became defeated. Like that. So that's what she was saying. But Rukmini Devi, she already wrote a letter to him, right? Wrote a letter. In there, where she was saying that Purtesta Datta Vrataniyama Deva Vipra Gur Archadi Bir Archanadi Bir Alam Bhagavan Pareshaha Araditim Gadagraja Etya Panibihi Grihnat Me Na Dhamagosha Sutayor Twadanya said, if at all, if at all, my dear Krishna, if I have done vrata, purtesta datta, vrata niyama, deva vipra, if I have worshipped demigods, if I have worshipped the gurus, if I have did aradhana of, Vishnu, Gadagraja, please come and take me. I don't want to, this rascal, Damagosha, son of Damagosha, means Shishupala, touch me. Touch me. No one else should touch me. All these kings, so many, because Rukmini Devi, she was considered the most beautiful woman of her times. So everybody wanted to have her hand. But she said, in this regard, Vishwanath Chakravarti writes in the commentary that she is saying, Anya means, she declared, only you and you, only you should come and accept my, take my hand. Even if Narayana comes, even Brahma comes, even Shiva comes, even Narayana comes and ask for my hand, I will not give. Only you. That was her determination. So that's why she already declared that I am not going to marry any of these kings. Yasyangri Pankajaraja Snapna Mahanto Vanchanti Umapati Evatma Tamopahatyai Yarhi Ambujakshana Labheha Bhavat Prasadat Jahyam Ashu Vratakushan Satajanme Virishat. She's saying that, my dear Krishna, Yasyangri Pankaj Raja Srapna Mahanto, the dust of your lotus feet is desired by Lord Shiva. So why does he want? Why does Lord Shiva want dust of lotus feet of Krishna? Padmalocha, Anandaru Prabhu? Yasyangri Pankaj Raja Srapna Mahanto, Vanchanti Umapatir Ivatma Tamopahatye, in order to become free from mode of passion and ignorance. Lord Shiva wants to keep the dust of his lotus feet of Krishna on his head. On his head. Yarihi Ambujaksha, see, this is the recognition symbol. Oh, lotus-eyed Lord. Oh, Ambujaksha. Yarihi Ambujaksha. Oh, lotus-eyed Lord. If I don't get your mercy, if I don't get your mercy, I will perform austerities and penance hundreds of lifetimes. I will give up my life, but I will not marry anyone else. I will not marry anyone else. So she declared her determination. Right? Prabhupada writes, this is what we need to get Krishna as our husband. What do you want? What do you need? Mangala? Rukmini Devi is like determination. I will give up my life hundreds of lifetimes, but I will not marry. I will not go to anywhere else. Right? Suppose Right? If some Vishnuduta comes and tells us, please come to Vaikuntha, you're so much suffering in this material world. What you will say? Huh? Huh? What you will say? Thank you. Huh? Hare Krishna. Very nice. Right? We will not go to even Vaikuntha. Right? We will not go to Ayodhya. We will not go to Dwarka. We will go to only Golok Vrindavan. Right? So, of course, what to speak of going to Golok, that is why every day you chant this prayer. Nanaka prishtam, nachaparamestyam, nasarvabhaumam, narasadipatyam, na yoga siddhir apunar va samanjasaya tvam virahaya kanksha. Right? How many of you know this verse? Very nice. All of you, please memorize this verse. Every day, chant this verse in front of the Lord. So, because in ISKCON there is a preaching goes on that better you finish off. Otherwise, after 10,000 years, this movement will be finished. Suppose if you go to Swargaloka, after 50,000 years or 1 lakh years you come, then the movement will be finished. Right? So, what will you do? So further there is an answer in 11th canto Bhagavatam. Krishna says, if my devotees, they don't want to go to Swargaloka, I will not send them. So Prabhupada also said 90% of devotees, ISKCON devotees will go to Swarga. Right? So don't fall into that 90%. So you tell Krishna, Krishna says, my dear Krishna, if I am not perfect, don't send me to Swarga. Give me birth in the family of Vaishnavas, even if it is a Kita, but in the Vaishnava family, right? So further, this prayer is very important. Nanaka Prishna means Dhruvaloka. Nanaka, Dhruvaloka means Brahmaloka. I don't want Dhruvaloka. I don't want Brahmaloka. I don't want unrivaled kingdom, Chakravarti post in this earthly planet. I don't want to go to Rasatala, Talatala and all that. Right? I don't want Mukti. I don't want Yoga Siddhi. Ashtanga Yoga Siddhi. What do you want? Service of your lotus feet. Service, servant of the servant. Already, Aham Hare, Tava Padaika Moolam, Dasanu Dasa, Bhavitashmi Bhuyaha, Manas Mare Tashu Pater Gunamste, Grinita Vakarma Karotu Kayaha. He already declared what I want. I want to be servant of your servant, right? Mad janma valamidam madukaita bari mad prarthaniya mad anugrah esha eva tvad brutya brutya paricharika brutya brutyasya brutya vitimam smaralokanatha. Servant of the servant. But I don't want to go to Dhruvaloka, I don't want to go to Brahmaloka, I don't want to become Brahma, I don't want this, I don't want this. Right? But what do you want? Service of lotus feet of Krishna. Always glorify your pastimes. I should get a chance to glorify your pastimes. Right? Like Maharaj Prutu also is praying. Na kamaye na tatapi api aham kvachit nayatra yusmat charanam vujashvaha Mahatmamantar Mahan Mukachyuto Viditsa Karnayitam Eshame Varaha. Right? He's saying, my dear Lord, I don't want mukti where nectar of your lotus feet is not available. Then Krishna asked, what do you want? Mahatmamantar Mahan Mukachyuto. Right? So I want to be in the association of devotees where I can hear the nectar of your lotus feet. For that, I need viditsa, karnayitam. Karnayitam means 1 million years I want. 1 million years I want. In this regard, Vishnu Chakra comments that because in various places so many kathas go on. So suppose I am sitting in Juhu and hearing, then I miss what katha is going on Mayapur or Vrindavan. So I want to hear Mayapur Katha, I want to hear Vrindavan Katha, I want to hear Juhu Katha. What to do? I need for that? 1,000,000 years. So what is so great about my Katha? Krishna asked. Sauttama shloka mahan mukachyuto bhavat padambuja sudhakananilihi smritir punar vismrita tattva vatmanam kuyoginam no vitarati alam varaihi. My dear Lord, when pure devotees they speak, they come in touch with the, Prabhupada writes in the purport, that when the pure devotees they speak, they come in touch with the saffron dust particles of Krishna's lotus feet. When the devotees sit in front of the pure devotee and speak, those saffron dust particles fall on those devotees. Because of the touch of the saffron dust particles, what happens? Smritir punar vismruta tattva vatmanam. That we will revive our memory that I am an eternal servant of Krishna. Right? So this should be our desire. That that is what Rukmini is saying, that your kathas are appreciated by Shiva and Brahma also. Lord Brahma, they also, yat sadhu gada sadasi, ripava surarapi nrupa. Narad Muni is saying, Prahlad Maharaj ka story, that there is no sabha is complete without glorifying Prahlad Maharaj. He's saying, so even in the assembly of the enemies of the demons, who are the enemies of the demons? Devatas. In their sabhas also, yes, sadhu gada sadasi, he says, Narad Muni says, glorifying Prahlad Maharaj, that in their sabhas also, they glorify Prahlad Maharaj's characteristics. Right? What is the greatest quality of Prahlad Maharaj? Why Lord is so pleased with Prahlad Maharaj? What is his greatest quality? What is that quality that he had developed which pleased Krishna so much? Krishna Bhajan Prabhu? We also need that. Otherwise, without that quality, we cannot worship Krishna. Samadrushti. That what he said, Jahi Ashuram Bhavam Imam Tvam Atmanah. In that verse, he says, you develop Samadrushti. Without Samadrushti, you cannot worship Krishna. So that is the greatest way of worshipping Krishna. He is developing Samadrushti. Then Lord Kapila says, if you don't develop Samadrushti, then whatever worship you are doing is equivalent to putting gulab jal into ashes. If you don't have Samadrushti, like that. So, what is glorifying Prahlad Maharaj means? Prahlad Maharaj glorification means glorification of Lord Krishna. Right? Glorification of Lord Nishingadev. Right? So, we should also develop that desire. Like Rukmini Devi, Prabhupada says, Rukmini Devi, this quality, determination, we also should inculcate. Right? We should also inculcate this. Another quality that Krishna praised Rukmini Devi, anybody remembers? Last time I told that we should develop. Determination. One more quality that Krishna praised her. Krishna praised Rukmini Devi that even though I was abusing your brother Rukmi, then I disfigured him and all. You kept quiet. You remained silent. And then even though your brother was killed by my brother, you didn't say one word because you are afraid that you would lose me. You didn't defend me. My dear Rukmini, your silence has conquered me. Your silence has conquered me. That is why better to devotees, we should remain silent, and always remember Krishna, right? So, Maunena kalo nasti, nasti jagritam bayam, krishito nasti durbhiksham, japato nasti patakam. This is a verse from Harivamsha Purana. We can remember. By remaining silent, we can avoid fighting. Right? So when devotees, sometimes the devotees, they come to fight with you. Better to remain silent. Right? Later on, you can, if there is a fight and mood of argument, then so husband and wife, they fight, you're this, and he would say, yeah, you're like this, right? So they don't like to hear to each other, simply, blare out accusations, right? So I told one devotee, sometimes, with some wives, it doesn't work also. I told this to one devotee because he was complaining, that then I said, whatever she says, remain silent. Then she became more angry. It said, why you are not talking? Then I said, this is a Shastra's word, Jitega. So she will, after some time, she will remain quiet. Otherwise, this also is there. If you don't respond to her arguments, you don't care for me? Huh? You are not listening? I told another devotee, you keep the record. When she comes to fight, you keep the record. Now you know that earphones are there and hands free, right? So keep the record. Whatever she says, you only hear. Then you don't have to respond. If she catches you, then it will be a big problem. Hare, you are putting the record. Like that. So, this is there are instances where, after Krishna appeared, and then his incarnation was finished, then he told Bhagavad-gita boldly, Sarvadharman parityaja, mamekam sharanam vraja, aham tvam sarvapapibhyo mokshayishyami ma shuchaha, completely surrender only to me. I'll protect you from all. So after this, and then he went back, then he was sitting in Vaikuntha, and then he was very sad, it seems. He was feeling very sad. He said, what happened? I did so much because I remained as a human being. I remained as a human being, and I was one of them. I behaved as one of them, right? And then I spoke Bhagavad-gita, then all this, so much teachings I gave, but nobody is surrendering to me. It became useless. Then, so he was sitting, he was discussing it. Then Sridevi and Bhudevi, they were with him. Sridevi, Krishna asked Sridevi, can you do something? Sridevi said, I went as Sita Devi. Then I went as Rukmini Devi. I could not do much because I myself was, as Sita, I myself was, discarded twice by Ramchandra. Like that. Then Bhudevi said, I will do one thing. I can try. I will go and I will try. Krishna said, what you will do? See, something which I could not do, what you can do? I could not achieve it. See, there is a problem with you. When you went as Ramchandra, you were acting like a human being. But when the Samudra did not give the way, so you just became king like a god. And then he said, hey, Lakshman, bring the arrows, bring the arrows. So, ho gaya na, khatam ho gaya na, manavatta. Bhagavatata dikha diya na. You will say, Kshipami aham ajashram. He said, Taniyaham dvishatah krura. So Krishna says, though all these rascals and demons, I will send them to, hell. So, khatam ho gaya na tumhara manavata. So you are threatening them that if you don't surrender to me, I will throw you in the hell. So this is, I will become one of them. So I will, try to change them. Right? I will try to change. So there is one very great devotee, Viprachitta. I will tell you one story. So when Kalanemi was killed by Lord Vishnu with his Sudarshan Chakra was completely filled with the blood of Kalanemi. So in order to purify himself, Sudarshan Chakra came to a place called, in South India near Madurai. Right? So he brought Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati there, and then he cleaned that Sudarshan Chakra there, in that kshetra. So they, later on, the devotees there, they prayed to the Lord, and then the Lord appeared as Vatapatra Sai. Right? Vatapatra Sai. Like that. After some, then that Vatapatra Sai was worshipped in that place for a long time. Then it became underground. It became, worship stopped. Then the deity disappeared. Then one day, Velli and Kumbha, these two brothers, they came there. This Kumbha was killed by a lion. And then when this Velli was resting there, he got a dream. The Lord came in his dream and told him that I am lying down in this Putta means ant hill. Putta, ant hill. So in that ant hill, I am there. Please take me out. Then the Velli said, my brother was killed. I don't have any money. Don't worry. I will empower you. You can kill that lion. And then your brother also will come back to life. In that lion where he's staying, in that cave, there is a lot of nidhi. There is a treasure. You can take it out and make a temple for me. That is because Velli removed the deity. That is why it became Velliputtur. Velliputtur. So later on, there is one devotee by name Viprachitta. Viprachitta, he was so dedicated to the Lord. He was so dedicated to the Lord that 40 years ho gaya, he was not educated. He didn't have any property. He didn't have any wife. He didn't have any children, nothing. He is having a garland, garden, and then Tulsi garden. Then every day he is making Tulsi garlands and offering to Vatapatra Sai. So one day Krishna was sitting with his wife, Sri Devi and Bhudevi wives, and he said, this person is so selfless. I want to do something for him. Meanwhile, the king of Madurai, he had a realization where he declared that whoever establishes his Siddhanta perfectly, that who is God, I want to know who is God. Whoever establishes that who is God, that person, he put a pole and then he hung 1 lakh gold coins. That 1 lakh gold coins will fall on him. He can take it. So Jains, Buddhists, Mayavadis, demigod worshippers, they all came and tried to establish that their Siddhanta is perfect and they like that. It didn't fall. Then Krishna came in the dream of Viprachitta. Then he told, you go and argue and establish that I am Supreme Personality of Godhead. You will get that 1 lakh gold coins. Then Viprachitta said, my dear Lord, please stop joking. मैं तो अंगूठा छाप हूं, मैं क्या आर्ग्यू करेगा? नहीं, अरे मैं हूं ना पीछे. I will make you. So Lord had to force him. You go. Then he went. And then he established that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna is speaking through him. Right? Bhishmadev, there is no greater scholar than Bhishmadev in the history of Vedas, Vedic civilization. Whatever you want to know, you can read that Anushashik Parva, Mahabharata, everything under the sky, you will know everything. He spoke. When he spoke, Lord Krishna and all, they went, he was lying on the bed of arrows. Krishna told, please clarify the doubts of Yudhishthir said, see, look at my condition. How can I speak? I am suffering so much. Then Krishna lectured him. Are you going to speak? Then, yeah, okay. Krishna is going to speak through mouth of Bhishma Dev, right? That's why you could, so much wealth of knowledge, ocean of knowledge, like that. Bhishma Dev, yeah, my dear Lord. Then Krishna put his hand over his body. Ekdam tandrust ho gaya. All the pain is gone. Then is Ganga. Ganga putra ka muh se Ganga nikli. Knowledge. Pravah. Like that. Then anyway, so he was established. Then there was that gold coins fell on him. 1 lakh gold coins. That's big money, 1 lakh gold coins. Then the king was so pleased with his arguments, and he is so happy that he got the goal of life, that Krishna is the Supreme Personality, I should worship him. He made a procession of Viprachita on the back of elephant. Gajarohana, it means it's a very big honor, a king, makes somebody, takes a procession of elephant, it's a big honor. Like that. So when Viprachita was taken on procession on the elephant, Lord Krishna appeared in the sky sitting on Garuda. Sitting on Garuda to see his devotees' glories. Like that. Then Viprachita saw that, my dear Lord, why did you come? So we all, want to see Lord, and we want that Krishna should appear in front of us and all that. And this man, this personality, he's so glorious that when he saw Krishna sitting on the Garuda, he said, my dear Lord, why did you come? Why did you come? There are so many demons. There are so many demons. Your lotus feet are soft like lotus petals. You are so soft. You are so beautiful. Nazar lag jayega. And these demons may harm you. Like that, he spoke 10 verses. It is called Pallandu. He said Pallandu. You know what is meant by Pallandu? Any Tamil here? Pallandu means, let there be auspiciousness. Let there be auspiciousness. Nazar na lage. Like that. So these 10 verses, that is why in each and every, they have Naliyar, Divya Prabandham, they recite in front of the Lords. First prayer they offer is this. Because all of them, all the Alvars, they wanted to see the Lord. But when this personality saw the Lord, he was blessing him. That is why he became Peri-Alvar. Peri-Alvar means the best of all Alvars. There are 12 Alvars, but this personality is known as Peri-Alvar. And his Pashurams were recited first. Pallandu. Means they are blessing the Lord. Then that gold coins he gave it to. So Lord thought, with the gold coins he will marry and have a wife and all that. Children and all, something. But that gold coins he gave it to Vatapatra Simon. They said, Lord is frustrated. What do I do with this guy? Then he looked at Bhudevi. Can you do something? Then she understood. Then she came as daughter of Peri-Alvar. She was found in the garden of Tulsi garden. Goda Devi. Her name is, Andal Goda Devi, they say. So all of you know the story. Mukund Prabhu many times described. But Goda Devi, when she came of age, she actually, Peri-Alvar wanted to find a son-in-law. She said, I will marry only Krishna. How it is possible? Then Rangana, then which deity? Then she wanted to marry a deity. Then he asked, which deity you want to marry? Then he gave, 108 Divya Desham's photographs, paintings. So Tirumala, I don't want to marry, Balaji. He said, why? Oh, Kudu, कर्जे में डूबा है. He was, लोन चुकाना है, फिर मेरा ज्वेलरी मेरा बेच देगा वो. Very funny one. I will tell you. There is one deity, Sundara Bahuswami, Nupur Nadi. So his temple was constructed with the wealth stolen by thieves and all. No, I don't want, such place. Then Veera Ragaswami. You went Veera Ragaswami? You went? He's called Vaidya Veera Ragaswami, right? So all the people, they go and they want to get cured. So they give salt. I said, no, I don't want to marry him. Then Govindaraj Swami, Govindaraj Swami, he is always busy, counting cash. So mere ko bhi laga dega. Then there is one deity, Uppiliyappan. Anybody went Uppiliyappan? Huh? You went? Ishan go? Uppiliyappan? You didn't go? You should go, Kumbakonam. Bus leke jao. So there, Lord Markandeya Rishi's daughter was it. Another Markandeya Rishi. He wanted, she's Lakshmi Devi. He wanted, Lord Narayana wanted to marry this, wanted to marry her. Said he didn't want to give her to the Lord. He said, my daughter is so small, she doesn't know that, how much salt to be put or whether salt to be put. So she will not be. No. Even if she doesn't put salt, I will eat. That is why in the temple they don't put salt. The magic of the temple is, whatever prasad you receive in the temple, if you eat in that temple itself, you don't feel that there is no salt. But if you come out and eat, you'll say, "Arey, namak nahi hai." Then Goda Devi said, "Bina namak khana padega, main nahi jam." How many? Sonnavarnam Said Perumal. Anybody? Yatotkari. You went? You must have gone. Yatotkari? So there is one, anyway, there is no time. There is one devotee, Kannan. There is one lady, she was serving the temple for a long time. Then this Kannan was very pleased with her. He gave her a benediction to remain young all the time. And then somehow, she got married to the king. And the king is becoming old and she is remaining young. Nitya Yavana. He said, what is the secret? He said, aisa hai. Then Kannan, Kannan said, sabke liye main nahi karunga. Then, he said, you leave my place. You leave my city. So, this Sennavannan Perumal, they are worshipping. Tirumanga Alvar, I think. So, Kannan was his assistant. He said, my dear lord, aisa, Desh Bahishkar ho gaya. Desh Bahishkar ho gaya. Then both of them, Tirumanga Alvar went. I said, my dear lord, I am going because my assistant was debarred from the country. Chalo. The Lord folded his Anantasesha and then started walking. So Kannan, Tirumanga and then the Lord, they are walking. They are leaving there. So when they left Kanchipuram city, it completely became dark. Then the Brahmanas, they warned, the Lord has left. Go and bring back. Then they came and begged forgiveness, please come back. Then Tirumanga said, come, let us go back. They went back. So the Lord, he sleeps like this, right? In this temple, he sleeps like this. Yatotkari means whatever devotee tells, he does. Yatotkari, जो devotee बोलता है करेगा, मेरे को छोड़ने को बोलेगा तो छोड़ दोगे. Then Kumbakonam. Then finally, Ranganath. This is Krishna. I want to marry him. Actually, Ranganath is Krishna himself. Because can you imagine, Ramchandra is worshipping him. Lord Ramchandra is worshipping him. So, Kurattalvar and then Parasar Bhatta, they all say, when Parasar Bhatta said, when I go to the temple, I get the fragrance of butter. So Ranganath is none other than Krishna. So Krishna only can marry so many wives, right? So Ranganath sent a message to the king that I want to marry Goda Devi. Right? So Goda Devi, why I'm telling this story, that yesterday it started Dhanurmas. Right? In Tamil Nadu, Dhanurmas is very important. So during this time, if you go, there are actually 21 days, this Vrata, Dhanurmas Vrata is there. So 21 Divya Veshas they put to the Lord. Very beautiful. And there is a lot of rush and in the temples. People come to see the Lord like that. Very, so she did what you call Vrata, called, she wrote a book called Tiruppavai. And then she did Dhanurmas Vrata. Like gopis have done, Katyayini Vrata. So these, Goda Devi, she has done Dhanurmas Vrata. Very beautiful book. Only 30 poems she wrote, but whole philosophy she wrote. Like that. And then after that, Krishna has sent. Then they took the king and all, they came, they took a procession of Goda Devi on a palanquin, and then she got married to Ranganath. She got married to Ranganath, and then she attained the lotus feet of Ranganath. Like that. So in all temples of South India, we see Andal, being worshipped, separately. In all temples. So the purpose of Goda Devi appearance is to give this knowledge that is contained in Tiruppavai. She wrote such a beautiful, narration of Krishna's and his pastimes in Tiruppavai. And then, so the suggestion was that just like Rukmini attained Krishna as her husband, like Goda Devi attained Krishna as her husband, we can also attain Krishna as our husband or a boyfriend or whatever, by following the process of this Krishna consciousness. Very otherwise, Rukmini Devi is saying that all these men, in 5th canto Bhagavatam, Lakshmi Devi is praying to Kamdev that, my dear Lord, so many women, they worship you to get a husband. But they don't know that husband himself is under the control of karma and kala. And then he cannot protect himself. How can he protect his wife? So they are very foolish that they don't want you as their husband. So that's what Rukmini Devi was saying, that those women who don't desire you as their husband, they are most foolish. Right? That's why Prabhupada, somebody, Hare, your Krishna is very lusty. He married 16,108 wives. What is your problem? He is God. He can marry 16 million. Right? He can marry 16 million also. What is your problem? You cannot maintain even one wife. Right? So this should be our desire also. Of course, Krishna is already, Prabhupada says, Krishna is husband of everybody. He's already, right? How many of you know? Shriyapatir, Yajnapatir, Prajapatir, Dhiyampatir, Lokapatir, Dharapatir, Patir Katir, Chandaka Vishnu Satampatir, Vishnu Satvatam, Prasiditam me Bhagavan Satampati. Right? 7 Shriyapati, Yajnapati, Prajapati, Dhiyampati, Lokapati, Dharapati, Satvatampati. 7 patis. Right? If allopathy doesn't work, homeopathy doesn't work, naturopathy doesn't work, only Sitapati works. Okay? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Grandhra Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Any questions? Hare Krishna. Announcement?
Hare Krishna. What is the English translation for Samadristi? What does that mean?
Yeah.
What is the English translation for Samadristi?
Samadristi. Samadristi means according to Vishnu Purana, seeing Krishna in everybody's heart, right? That is Samadrishti.
Hare Krishna. So, thank you very much for your enlightening and entertaining and very informative class, specifically dedicated to Andal and South Indian Alvaras. It's very nice to hear all those pastimes. It's a very good news for all of you that our head pujari, a great Bhagavat Kathakar, a narrative storyteller, a fundraiser, a big preacher. So there is a good opportunity for everyone over here. Whoever is hearing, where is that YouTube channel? Yeah, if you can see me. So we are trying to arrange his Tulabhar. So, so specifically this request and this opportunities for those devotees who are following Ramarup Prabhu, and his group is very famous. So for those devotees and other devotees also, those who know him very well, so I request them that you can sponsor his Tulabhar. We will make him sit in Tula, and whatever weightage of Bhagavad-gita that will count in his Tulabhar, you can sponsor those. And in this way, we can show respect to Ramarup Prabhu. He is our head pujari and he is a big Kathakar, as you know him. So this will be a very great act of respect towards him. तो मैं सभी भक्तों को निवेदन करता हूँ, खास करके रामरूप प्रभु के अनुयायियों को, बाकी भक्तों को भी, जो भी प्रभु जी के ग्रुप में है, प्रभु जी से सम्मान करते हैं, प्रभु जी का आदर करते हैं, पूजा करते हैं, ये प्रभु जी का आप तुलाभार कर सकते हैं. आज करो, कल करो, महीना भर आपके लिए समय है. आप रोज एक बार आके कर सकते हो. प्रभु जी मैं आपका प्रमोशन कर रहा हूँ, मुझे 50% देना, ठीक है?
अरे
कोई बात नहीं, लेकिन आप लोग आके प्रभु जी का तुलाभार कर सकते हैं. जय ग्रंथराज श्रीमद भगवद गीता की जय, श्रीमद भागवतम की
हरे,
रामरूप प्रभु की, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की, और प्रेमानंदे.